My name is Wesley Ehring for the Point newspaper, and this week, for Loma Drives, we have Nicholas Pinuelas and his 1960 Ford F100. My name is Wesley. I'm going to do
Wesley.
Wesley, and your name's Nico.
Nicholas.
Nicholas?
Yeah.
What's your last name?
Pinuelas.
How'd you come by living here in Point Loma or coming to school here?
I'm born and raised in Southern California.
Okay.
I've always had family in San Diego. I spent most of my summers in San Diego.
Yeah.
I joined the Navy right out of high school. I bought a house early on, and I managed to not have to move out of it. So I retired, and I always surfed here in my 20s. Not so much now, but yeah, I never had a reason to leave.
You like the school, the community?
Yeah. So I went to high school and elementary school at a private schools. So I'm familiar with the small community that it provides.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just something familiar.
What kind of brought you onto this car? How'd you get your hands on it?
So it's a retirement.
It's a retirement.
Present to myself.
Awesome.
It took me the better part of 5 years to find the right one. I'm a fidgeter, so I like to make things better. And I got tired of working on my car and not really getting any satisfaction out of it. Because how cool can you look in a 2007 Toyota Tacoma? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And it was time for me to buy a new car, so I was like, do I want to buy a new car that I'm gonna hate myself in the mirror as I drive it, or do I find something that's really nice, classic, and I can do all the work on it myself and then actually enjoy it?
Yeah.
Looked and I wanted to find something that had something aesthetically pleasing with just the right amount of love given to it so I can take it and run with it. Ultimately, what you see now is like a 70% frame of what it's going to be, hopefully by the time I graduate. Most people are surprised by the robustness of...
Yeah. It had some funky name, like the mileage something or something like that.
Yeah, the mileage getter. It went from the wide body 55s is the I guess the honor man of the 50s, of the 50s trucks. Really wide, sweeping fenders to, okay, we need to modernize it. So for 3 years, they kind of ironed out the bodywork and the styling to kind of transition into the square body, or actually went into the flare side, bubble side, which is, you'll see the early 60s, late 60s, you'll see a bump along the sides and the quarter panels, and then it goes into an inverted to the 70s, where it's obviously squared, obviously
they're kind of
Ford built tough,
building a brand,
and it crushes mileage.
That's awesome.
It holds up to the standard. I went from here to Temecula and back in 3 gallons of gas.
What are some odds and ends that you've added that are aftermarket or different?
When I received the truck, when I purchased it, it wasn't mechanically sound. The brakes didn't work. If I wanted to brake here in Point Loma and I was coming from, let's say, PB, I would have to start braking in Ocean Beach. You know what I mean? So it was kind of a death trap. It didn't track right. I pretty much tore out the front end and rebuilt it seal by seal. I just recently got it aligned right, so now it tracks down perfectly. I can actually pass cars.
Wow.
I traced all the wires, all the lights work, everything outside of the cab. I still have to wire up all the gauges and this bad boy here, which is relatively easy. I just haven't had the time. Maybe after finals I'll get to it.
Definitely, yeah.
This thing is 75 years old. There is no reason to change it. Detroit made a lot of cars, and it's a part of the fabric of what it is to be American. Yeah, dig deeper into the culture. Even go to a car show. That's probably the best way to go in older car shows. You'll see a lot of old guys that just want to talk.
There's students who have huge interest in cars. I mean, what would you say to a student who's interested in buying an older truck or an older car like this and really working on it? What would your advice be?
I think the overall, what keeps people from purchasing an old car is not knowing how to work on it.
Yeah.
So to combat that, I'd say, don't worry. Do things in stages and in chunks. So if you purchase an older car, don't be afraid. There's a manual out there that will literally show you how to do everything that you need to do, step for step. Nowadays, there's so many sensors and algorithms that go into a car. Like, good luck. I'm telling you, like, the person that wrote the manual for this specific truck in the 60s, like, you can almost smell the crayon that it was made out of.
That's awesome. Appreciate that. Any last things you wanna add on? Any thoughts or?
No, man. Nothing? Just make us look cool.
Thank you, Nico.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.